Okay, let's talk now about what you should do if you're stopped. Any encounter with law enforcement is governed by what's called Terry stops. Okay, Terry stops comes from a case in the 60s with the Supreme Court called Terry versus Ohio. And basically, what that means is law enforcement has to have a reasonable, articulable fucking reason to prolong a stop. So, when you are stopped, after you have given your insurance and your driver's license, you have a right to ask the law enforcement officer, am I being detained, officer? If you are not being detained, if they say no, you are not being detained, drive off, leave, especially if you're holding. Do not try to talk to the law enforcement officer. You do not have to answer any questions except for your identity. You don't have to tell them where you're going. You don't have to tell them where you've been. You don't need to be rude about it with them. But you do need to just tell them, no, I'm not going to answer that question. You have no reason to answer that question.
And if it gets to be too much, you can always...
Law enforcement is not your friend. Law enforcement does not care where you're at or where you're going. They are just trying to gather evidence with which to hang you. Do not answer those questions. Don't answer any questions. Give them your license, give them your registration, and get the fuck out. FTF 030.